All right, so welcome to another video. Today, I want to share with you 8 tips and things that I wish I knew when I was first getting started in the blogging space, or even right now, because things have evolved so much more since I first started many years back. So I'm going to share with you these tips and insights. If you're brand new, just getting started, if you're trying to build a blog business, online, a website, whatever the case is, these tips should be able to help you out with generating and creating great content and ranking a lot better. So stay tuned. All right, so back when I first started, we just really focused on search engine optimization. There's not a lot of social media, but nowadays there's so many more things to look at and focus on. So in this video, I want to share with you some extra additional tips when it comes to getting your business and blog out in space here. So we're going to start with tip number 1, and that is to front load your content. And front loading your content is really to get a jump start on ranking, as spreading out your content across 8 months. It can take a long time to build momentum. So if you're going out and let's just say you're posting once a week, that can take quite a long time. You're only going to have about 50 articles in a year, or even just blog posts. So at the beginning, just get some substance out there. Maybe just go ahead and create 20 to 50 content pieces. So you could go ahead and just create some posts every week. You post 3 to 4 times, and that way you can just get some good content out there that you can just start promoting. Otherwise, it'll take 1 to 2 years for you just to have any kind of substance or presence. So front load it at the beginning so you can kind of get a jolt. It's kind of like one of the paramedics jump-starting your heart. And it's the same thing here when it comes to your blog business. Okay, let's look at number 2, and that is looking at ranking ideas. Now, Google ranks your website as a whole and then individual content pieces within the website. Whereas when you look at YouTube, it's a little bit different. YouTube ranks individual videos, and therefore they have a chance to have a single content piece go a little more viral. So think about this in your website. When it comes to your website, even though it's kind of the same company, right? Google owns YouTube. On the YouTube space, you have a much higher chance to get that viral effect going, because if you have a nice video, some of those videos, they get a huge jolt and boost, whereas other videos, they're just kind of, hey, dwindling down. Now, yes, it does rank your channel as a whole and so on, and pushes that feed, but you do have a much better chance for that single content piece on YouTube to rank really well. When you're focused on the blog, you're looking at your blog being ranked as a whole, and then those content pieces are getting ranked out. So you don't really have a chance for a content piece to get ranked virally in the Google search algorithm, because they're trying to push credible websites first. So understand how that plays into your content space and how you're trying to bring in traffic, because you may want to do a little of both, getting rankings from different sites in different mediums, whether that's Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, in different ways, or even TikTok these days and Instagram, than what you would do on Google. Google's kind of the long-term play, Google search engine, whereas maybe the social media sites are kind of that viral effect. And having traffic coming in from different spots, different places, could actually play in really well as a balance to your traffic approach. All right, let's check out number 3 here, and that is the domain name. Grab a domain name that's unforgettable. If you're using like a free service or just post content to social media, you're missing out. Like if you check out all the stuff that I have when it comes to my blog, having a website there to promote your products and services is really beneficial. I mean, you can grab people on the newsletter list so you can see kind of these pop-ups. We've got freebies that we've created. And when people go ahead and click some of the freebies, there's a pop-up that comes up. We can collect the email address, and that way continue connecting with people. And you got to be able to have a website to be able to make this happen. I use porkbun.com to be able to make it happen. They are our sponsors. And if you go to the website, you can grab a free domain name there in some spots as well. Here's what their website looks like. It's great. Free privacy. .coms are cheap, and there's always deals going on between different extensions as well. So check them out. Really a great starting point if you're trying to grab a domain name, or if you're trying to start another blog or business. All right, let's look at number 4, and that is clickbait. And I think that clickbait sometimes gets overdone and overshot, but I think it's a good way to get and attract people. So use clickbait type of articles and content to get people to the content you really want them to see. It seems fishy, but let me explain. Sometimes you need to attract first to later present the right information. There's a famous marketer that talked about saying, hey, we had to go ahead and sell pickup line handbooks or guides and freebies, because that's what people wanted when you're in the online dating space or you're just in the dating space. Go ahead, here's your pickup line. What's the pickup line? What's the pickup line that I need? But eventually what you realize is just becoming a great person, being humble, opening yourself up. You don't really need the pickup line. Once you start talking to somebody, that pickup line is gone. So it's really like 1% of the whole relationship. It's less than that. But at the beginning, that's what people want. They want the pickup line. So in this case, if you're doing the clickbait thing, at the beginning, people want those attractive articles. They seem like, hey, this is amazing. This is great, or attracting people in. So get them in what they want. They want to see something first. And that's usually something that's clickbait related, that's attractive, getting their attention really quick. It may not have the substance behind it that you want, but you're first just trying to build that relationship. Eventually, you'll get them the content that they need and build the relationship that you want with your customer or target audience. And that's where we get into building an audience. Remember, you got to build that audience. It takes time to build an audience, and you have to work multiple areas like an email list, Discord, social media, and other networks. Don't just use like one spot. You could use YouTube, search engines, whatever. Build an audience in multiple spots. Your email list, Discord, social media, because if one medium goes down, you have the others. So that also just spreads your risk as well. So if you've got an audience in different spots, really just separates things out and reduces kind of that risk. Look at niche changes. Over time, your niche will evolve. We used to do much more blogging, written content, but now each content piece has a video. So I start with a video like this, and then we convert it into the written form. It's just a lot easier. You can also create a podcast from something like this. Whereas if you start with the written word, then you do a podcast, and then you do a video, you really got to do that content piece kind of 3 times. Whereas here, I could do it 1 time, and then we can kind of export it into the different mediums and forms. So things will evolve, niches will evolve. It used to be articles back in the day. Now there's much more content, different types of content. So look for evolution in your business, blog, or niche for that matter. Spread your traffic. Don't rely on any one single areas of traffic. Spread your traffic across multiple mediums like Pinterest, Facebook, search engines, email lists, and much more. And that goes with diversifying your audience in the same way. So spread your traffic as well as like the way you're acquiring people, because you might be acquiring people differently than where you're building the audience. So for example, acquiring people through search engines and getting them to go to your Facebook page. So you're building the audience on Facebook, but you might be acquiring them on Google or YouTube. So remember, those things are different. So spread the traffic where you're getting it from. It could be advertisement space as well, to make sure that you're not just using one area or one faucet for your water. Have multiple spigots, multiple faucets, multiple areas to grab your traffic. And remember your capabilities. So that's your final tip, is capabilities. Do what you can and what's possible for you. If you can only post once a week, then stick to that. Don't overextend yourself to avoid burnout. Otherwise, you'll just get burned out. There's just a lot of things to do when it comes to blogging, when it comes to building a business online. There's just a ton of work ahead of you. And if you want it to succeed, just do what you can. And maybe eventually it'll lead into something bigger and continue to grow. But if you keep pushing it, sometimes you could be burnt out. So do what's possible for you. And if you can, allocate a little more time, because it could help accelerate the growth. Keep trying new things, evolve, see what works, see what doesn't, and change things up. I guess that goes to regular real world life advice as well. Anyways, thank you so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed this video. Grab some freebies on our website. Just click the link over here, or subscribe to the channel if you're absolutely brand new. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the week ahead, and I will see you next time.